Welcome back to my digital diaries. This is our front-end developer series, and today we are diving into one of the most important concepts in JavaScript, and that is objects in JavaScript. If you are learning front-end development, this series is just for you. So make sure you like this video, share it with your developer friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join our growing community for more coding knowledge every week. Alright, let's get started. Now let us talk about objects in JavaScript. Objects are one of the most important concepts you will use every day in front-end development. So what exactly are objects? First, the objects are collection of a key value pairs. Think of them as a container that stores related data and behavior together. The key inside an object are always either strings or symbols. For example, the key could be name, age, or even a special symbol. The values, on the other hand, can be anything: a string, a number, a function or array, or even another object. This flexibility makes object super powerful in JavaScript. Let's see one example of object. So this is an example of an object where we are creating object of person, which has name and age as a properties. Name is key and its value is Jitendra. Age is key and its value is 30. So Jitendra is a string, age is number, plus in this object we have a greet function. So greet function, which is writing console.log hello, is also a part of a object. So that's how the object is created. Now let's look at another important point: object reference and copying. In JavaScript, objects are reference type. That means when you assign one object to another, you are not copying the actual object, but you are copying the reference. For example, if I create an object A with a value of 10 and then assign it to say B, and both A and B now point to the same object or a reference. So now if I change B dot value, then the A dot value will automatically get changed. So that is what a reference type is. So assigning one object to another copies the reference, not the object itself. But what if you actually want a copy of object? So instead of references, then what you will do? In that case, you can use either a spread syntax. We already seen a spread syntax in our previous videos, or a object.assign for shallow copy. So let's take an example. So if you see example which I have given, let A is equal to value 10. So A has a value as a 10. Now I am assigning B variable to A. Now B object is equal to A object. Now if I change B dot value is equal to 20, so it will automatically change A dot value also 20, because A and B both are referring to the same object. But you do not want to do this, then you have to use a shallow copy. That is, if I have create object C and I can copy direct, this is a spread operator, 3 dots. That's how I can do a shallow copy. Now if I make a change in C dot value is 30, it will not change A value. So that is how the shallow copy is done. So this is what object reference and copy. Let us look at constructor and new operator. A constructor function is just a regular function that we use to create multiple object instances. Instead of writing the same object structure again, we can define it once inside a constructor. When we use the new keyword, JavaScript creates a brand new object and bind this to that object and then returns it automatically. Let's take an example here. So here we are creating a constructor for person object. So we are taking two values, name and age, and assigning to the object. So if I want to create an instance of an person object, then I can say let p1 is equal to new keyword and then person, and I will passing the two values, and those values will get assigned to the corresponding keys. Okay, and that's how the p1 object will create it. Now the same structure I want in p2, then I can say let p2 new person, and I can pass the new values to that constructor. So this is how the constructor works in JavaScript. Next, let's talk about optional chaining, which is represented by question mark and dot. This is a feature that lets us safely access the nested object properties. Normally, if you try to access a property on something that is null or undefined, JavaScript throws an error, but with optional chaining, instead of breaking the code, it just returns undefined. So let us take an example of optional chaining. So we have a let user. So we have created a user object. Now here, if you see console.log user.address, and we are using optional chaining.street, it will safely return undefined if the address object doesn't exist, instead of throwing an error. And the same goes for the function say hi. If that function doesn't exist, the user object doesn't exist, then it won't crash. It will just safely return undefined. This makes our code much more reliable when working with complex objects. So optional chaining is very important if you are working with complex object. It can be used for checking the null items, and then it will safeguard your code if you are using the optional chaining in case the object itself is a null. Now let us look at the symbol type. Symbols are special primitive type in JavaScript that we use to create unique properties. These keys will never collide with other keys, even if they have the same name, which makes them perfect for hidden or internal properties. And interestingly, symbol-based properties do not show up in loops like foreign and object keys. So let's take an example of a symbol type. For example, I have created a symbol called ID here. I use it as a property key in the user object, and I am logging it here. So if I log it, I will get answer as 123. It will log 123, but this property won't appear in normal iteration, making it a good way to store the spatial or internal data inside objects without interfering with the rest of the object. So this is what a symbol type is. Now let us talk about object methods and this keyword. In JavaScript, methods are just functions stored as object properties. Instead of defining a standalone function, you can attach a function directly to an object and then call it from that object. The special keyword this plays a key role here. Inside a method, this refers to the object that calls the method. Let's take an example here. I have created a user object. Name is my key here and Jitendra is value. Okay. Now here if you see, we have created a method called greet in the user object. In that I am just logging console.log hi and the name. So to access this name, I have to use this property and this keyword and dot the property name. So this is how you will use it. Now if I say user.greet, then it will log hi Jitendra. So object methods are very important for object oriented programming in JavaScript. Now we will talk about garbage collection. JavaScript has automatic garbage collections, which means developers don't have to manually manage memory. The idea is simple. When an object has no reference pointing to it, it becomes unreachable and JavaScript removes from memory. For example, here I have created an object, okay, where I have a key name and test. And then I have set object is equal to null. At this point, there is no reference to the original object anymore, which means it is now eligible for the garbage collection. In simple terms, if an object can't be reached, JavaScript will clean it up, but when the object is reachable. How it is considered it as a reachable? First of all, if it is in the call stack, if the reference by a variable or another reachable object, if it is stored in a global variable or if it is a part of a closure, then object is a reachable. As long as object is in memory, it is a reachable, otherwise JavaScript will eventually clean it up. This helps us avoid memory leaks and keeps our application running smoothly. In JavaScript, objects can be automatically converted to primitive values like strings or numbers depending on the context. The conversion process is controlled by three main methods. First is a toString, then value up, and there is a special method called symbol.toPrimitive. These methods tell JavaScript what to return when an object is used in a string or a numeric context. Let's take an example here. I have created an object obj and defined a custom symbol to primitive. A hint is either a string, number, or a default, which is received by this method. In this example, if the hint is string, it returns the word box. Otherwise, it will return a number 50. Now, when I call console.log string obj, JavaScript uses the string conversion and prints the box. And when I apply the unary plus operator here obj, JavaScript accepts a number, so it prints 50. So this shows how we can customize the way objects behave when converted to primitive. Now let us summarize what we covered about objects in this video. First of all, objects are essentially key value pairs. They are passed by reference, not by value. If an object becomes unreferenced, JavaScript automatically removes it from memory using garbage collection. The keyword this refers to the object that is calling the method. We can create multiple instances using the constructor function and the new operator. Optional chaining, that is dot, help us safely access the properties without runtime error. Symbols allows us to create a unique hidden keys for safe object extensions. And finally, object can convert to primitive when needed using the toString, value of, or symbol.toPrimitive method. With this concept, you have now a strong foundation for working with objects in JavaScript. In the next video, we will start exploring JavaScript classes, which provides a modern and cleaner way to structure our code. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and hype. If you are new to the channel, do subscribe and can join to get access of exclusive members only videos. Thank you. I will meet you in next week.